Welcome to the Commander Crew, a Magic the Gathering Commander YouTube channel where we ask the question, who's your commander?
We want to thank you for watching our videos. You can help support us by liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the bell notification icon.
You can also go to thecommandercrew.com to check out our t-shirts, masks, pet hoodies, and other Commander Crew goodies.
If you want to buy any of the cards seen in this video, be sure to click our TCG Player affiliate link in the show notes below.
Lastly, you can help us out by heading to our official Patreon page and becoming a direct supporter of the channel. Now let's
get to the video.
Oh no.
What is up, everybody? It is Chris from the Commander Crew coming at you with another Commander Quick Take. Oh, this is another fun one. Now we have got a clue as to who my next commander is going to be. We have a Lonis Cryptozoologist. For a green and a blue, we have a 1/2 Snake Elf Scout. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you investigate. Tap it, sacrifice X clues. Target opponent reveals the top X cards of their library. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield under your control. That player then puts the rest of the cards on the bottom of their library in a random order. I am pretty excited for this. Already off the back, it's Simic, and we already know how Simic plays out. It's super powerful. Do not get me wrong, we're already off to a great start. I'm excited about this because now we're bringing clues to give a whole new value. In the last set, they gave us Guillaume, which gave a food token an overall new value. And now with Lonis, we have clue tokens. I'm pretty excited for this. The reason why I like this so much is, one, obviously, this card's pretty powerful. With this new clue sub-theme, we can go through our basically the library of cards that we have and use all those old cards that, quote-unquote, didn't have any value. But now they have a lot more value because they can go into a deck with a solid purpose. In the recent set, they gave us Quandrix and Nev Twincasters and Essex Fractal Bloom. These two cards are straight up token strategy. It's a great transition to go from Quandrix or Essex right into a new deck. Because with this Cryptozoologist, we're going to get so many tokens on the battlefield, they're going to put in so much serious work. Definitely consider, if you're thinking about making a token theme, to work around either Quandrix and Nev Twincasters, Essex Fractal Bloom, or this Lonis, actually the Cryptozoologist, is pretty insane. The three of them together work simultaneously beautifully together. Now let's go over some of the cards that I'd like to include in this deck. First, let's start off with the clue tokens. The things that actually have to deal with the clue tokens themselves to have even more value with the clue tokens. First, we have Briarbridge Patrol. Whenever it deals damage to one or more creatures, you investigate. And at the beginning of each end step, if you can sacrifice 3 or more clues this turn, you put a creature card from your hand on the battlefield. That's a free creature potentially, and we're going to be sacrificing a lot of clues, so we can trigger this multiple times. Confirm Suspicions. Yeah, it's a counter spell, but you get to investigate 3 times. So that's 3 more clues, which potentially makes Lonis even more powerful. Erdwall Illuminator. When you investigate for the first time, you investigate twice. Ongoing investigation. Whenever one or more creatures you deal controlled damage, you get to investigate. And then pay 1 and a green, exile a target creature from your graveyard to investigate. So now we have the option to investigate on a stick. Tamio's Journal. 5 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, you investigate, so free investigation tokens. And then if you sacrifice 3 clue tokens, which we are absolutely going to get 3, we search our library for any card and put it into our hand. And then we shuffle. This is, in some sense, a repeatable tutor-on effect. This is definitely going to get some serious value. Then we have the OG clue token guide that pretty much everyone's already played out. Is Tireless Tracker, 2 and a green for a 3/2. When a land enters the battlefield, you investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a 1/1 counter on it. And with Lonis, you got to put a lot of counters on it. Trail of Evidence, 2 and a blue. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you investigate. We're going to be casting a lot of spells in this deck, so just getting a little more extra value is pretty awesome. And then Uvenwold Mysteries. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you investigate. Things are going to die. Things that come back and go out, you got to get value. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, though, you create a 1/1 human soldier token. Because we're going to be sacrificing so many clue tokens with our commander, being able to turn each of those clue tokens into a creature is going to give us some serious board state later on. Next up, we have some flicker effects. When we are playing our commander, we want to basically flicker it over and over again with the creatures enter the battlefield to get even more value. We have Conjurer's Closet, 5 generic. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control and then return to the battlefield under your control. Crystal Shard, 3 generic or a single blue. Tap it to return target creature to its owner's hand unless its control pays 1. So basically for a single blue, we can bounce a creature to our hand. And then Eye Navigator, one of the OG staples when it comes to commanders, is it's got Soulbound, and as long as it's paired up with another creature, each of those creatures have paid 1 and a blue and flicker it. This is going to give us some serious value to give us even more clue tokens to sacrifice to dig even deeper into our opponent's decks. In addition to flickering, we want to be able to cast certain creatures over and over and over again without having any hesitation. We have Dream Stalker, 1 and a blue for a 1/5. When it enters the battlefield, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand, which it can be itself, but it can be any permanent you control. Shrieking Drake for a single blue. When it enters the battlefield, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. So basically, for a single blue, you get a clue token. And then Trusted Advisor. It's a single blue as well. Your maximum hand size is increased by 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a blue creature you control to its owner's hand. So this is value on top of value. Now, one way to get so much value off our commander is to put the creatures our opponents control, or just a permanent, on top of their library. We have some top deck manipulation. We have Expel from Maraska, 1 and a blue. Has Ascend, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, but if you have the City's Blessing, which we're going to have the City's Blessing very easily, you put that permanent on top of its owner's library instead. Submerge, 4 and a blue. If an opponent controls a forest and control an island, which we are always going to, you may play Submerge without paying its mana cost. So that's a free unsummon. You put a target creature on top of its owner's library. And then Temporal Spring, 1 and Simic, put target permanent on top of its owner's library. Basically, knowing what's on top of the library will let us use Lonis' ability to get that card back under our own control. And then we have some basic staples when it comes to tokens. Doubling Season doubles up every single token we enter the battlefield. Illusionist Bracers copies the ability twice. Parallel Lives, even more doubling on the tokens. And then Rings of Bright Hearth, guess what? We're doubling his ability again. With these 4 cards, they're going to put in so much work, it's going to make our board way overwhelming. Since we're going to have so many clue tokens on the battlefield, we want to get some value from them as well. Inspiring Statuary, 3 generic, non-artifact spells you control have Improvise, so now all your clue tokens can be turned into a mana, which transitions to Krark Clan Ironworks. 4 generic, sacrifice an artifact, so any of your clue tokens, and add 2 generic to your mana pool. Basically, with the amount of clue tokens we have, we can get so much more mana. Then we have Panharmonicon, which if an artifact or creature enters the battlefield to trigger, it triggers at additional time. So now with Lonis, you got to get 2 clue tokens for each creature that enters the battlefield. Then we have Shimmer Dragon, 4 blue. As long as you control 4 more artifacts, it has hexproof, but if you tap 2 untapped artifacts you control, you draw a card. This is basically going to turn all of our clue tokens into draw effects, give us even more value. And if you want even more value with some ramp, we have Urza Lord High Artificer, 2 blue for a 1/4 human artificer. When it enters, you create a construct, but the biggest benefit of this is tap an untapped artifact you control, which is any of your clue tokens to tap to add a blue mana. So you can actually use these over and over again. And this top end ability to pay 5 generic to get a free card, yeah, that's even more epic. And then we have Word of Invention, X triple blue with Improvise, so every single one of your artifacts you can use to basically pay the cost for it. And you search for an artifact from your library with converted mana cost X or less, and you put it on the battlefield. Basically, if we need to get a Krark Clan or a Panharmonicon or any other basically awesome artifact, we can get it right on the battlefield at instant speed. And then lastly, we have some new cards in the set, which I definitely want to throw in as well. We have Academy Manufacturer, 3 generic for a 1/3 assembly worker. If you were to create a clue, food, or treasure token, instead create 1 of each. With every single clue token, we're getting food and treasure. That's even more artifacts in the battlefield, which can convert to even more value for us. Definitely something you want to look into. Graph Mole, which I'm pretty excited about this. 2 and a green for a 2/4. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, gain 3 life. Say we got Lonis out there, we sacrifice 5 clues. That's 15 life gained. That's a massive swing. Get something from our opponents and gain a bunch of life. That's definitely awesome. And then we have Junkwinder, 5 blue for a Serpent 5/6. Has affinity for tokens, which we're going to have plenty of tokens, so hitting 5 is going to be no issue at all. And whenever another token enters the battlefield on your control, tap target non-land permanent and opponent controls. It does not untap. That's so much value of this guy. We're going to get so many tokens on the battlefield. This is going to basically tap down all of our opponent's stuff and never have to worry about untapping ever again. And that's my quick take on Lonis, Cryptozoologist. Yeah, I don't play Simic too often, but this definitely has got me going. After playing Guillaume with food tokens, and now I have clue tokens to work with, I'm definitely excited for this card. This is definitely something to look into because top deck manipulation, whether it's your own deck or someone else's deck, is going to give you so much value you don't even comprehend it. And you can only just make this deck better and better as the days progress. I'm definitely excited to build this deck out. Now, how would you build it out? Obviously, you want to build some clue tokens, but how heavy on this like doubling effect or just top deck manipulation or even searching options would you put into this deck? I'd love to hear in the comments down below. Again, my name is Chris from the Commander Crew. This has been a Commander quick take for the new Modern Horizons 2 Lonis Cryptozoologist. Yeah, this Snake Elf Scout is digging for some clues, and I think he found our victory. Again, my name is Chris from the Commander Crew. Thanks for watching. Peace.